Going on social media is just like watching a dog take a dump and having another dog come up and eat it. This is the Get Your Ass to Work podcast, and this week we are talking about social media with the Facebooks and the Instagrams and all the other platforms out there where people are just slaughtering each other. Twitter, that's one of them. Just absolutely killing each other with probably some of the most vile, hateful, just nasty, disgusting rhetoric, bullshit, useless, negative talk that I could ever possibly imagine. I can't even come up with, you just can't make up how nasty and vicious people are to each other on social media. And for one, it's social media, so nobody gets harmed in the making of nasty, vicious social media. Everyone just types anything that they want to type and think that there are no repercussions unless you are the wife of that soccer player and then you end up getting your husband fired. But most of the time, for the average people, the non-celebrities, you pretty much type anything you want out on social media, call anybody, anything you want, and you get away with it. But the truth is that people are addicted to it. They love the negativity. People are swimming in that negativity. They bathe in it. They wake up first thing in the morning and can't wait to get on the Facebook and post the biggest piece of bird dropping they can possibly think of. Okay? Now, I don't care what side of politics you're on. I don't care if you're the left winger or the right winger. Both sides post the most disgusting, vile, nasty crap that you could possibly imagine. And they post it about each other, and they posted it about the other side's politicians, and somebody's always right, and somebody's always an idiot, and the country would be so much better if it just wasn't for people like you who are blah, 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 blah. And then you go on these comments and you see what people are posting, and you realize that there's a whole bunch of followers who are all for every single thing this person has posted because it's either slanted left or right. And then there's going to be the few haters on the page who hate everything that person says and is basically going to try to disprove every single little thing. And there is no disproving anything on Facebook. Come on, guys, get serious. It just doesn't exist. So what you get is you get somebody waking up first thing in the morning and just taking a big dump. And one of their friends is going to come up and just take a big bite out of that dump and then go spread it around to everybody else that they know on Facebook and just spread the negativity and the hatred and the garbage. And they're going to think that they are on the right side because we are informed and you're not informed. You don't have the facts. We only talk about facts. You ignore the facts. It's like, what? At a certain point, all I can do is just laugh about some of the nonsense and the garbage that I see posted on there. But it really is, people are addicted to it. And so I kind of make it in a way to, it's very similar to dogs. And I don't know what it is about dogs. I'm not a scientist. I don't know dog science. But why is it that some dog is taking a dump and another dog comes by and eats it? It's not like it tastes good. Dogs know the difference. Some dogs won't eat broccoli, but they'll go take a big bite out of some other dog's turd. Why do they do it? I don't know. But people are doing it all the same with their friends' nasty, negative crap that they post on Facebook. And nobody ever really goes on the Facebook or Instagram and says things like, hey, that post is kind of negative. You should really brighten it up a little bit on your wall. And you look down the person's wall and it's like fuck Donald Trump, fuck Republicans, racist this, racist that, you're the worst. And then you go on the Republicans who post their stuff and it's like, Obama is still the worst president ever. Democrats are trying to take all my guns. You will never, blah, 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 build the wall. You know, it's hilarious to see how consumed people are with their own ideas that have basically been manufactured by mainstream media and is given to you by mainstream media and then just regurgitated over and over and over. And it's basically like someone's going to come vomit and you're just going to go lap it up like a good little doggy. And then you're going to go vomit on some other people's day and just make sure that they see all your negativity. And people like it. It sounds nasty, but people love it. People are addicted to seeing it. And it just causes so much hatred between people. And then you get into the real world and nobody talks about politics. Everyone's too scared to bring up politics in a normal setting because, well, it doesn't belong in real life. But on Facebook, we're going to talk about it all day. And I'm going to hate everyone who doesn't think exactly like me on Facebook. And you're racist if you don't agree with this bullshit statement that I just made. And you're this and you're that and I'm right and you're wrong. Man, it's nasty. And it's scary to think that people actually spend this much time on this topic and people actually go through their life thinking that if one person or this other person got elected, that somehow their life would be better. Like the United States would just be a better place if it wasn't for all these Republicans and if it wasn't for all these liberals, everything would be absolutely perfect in California. Well, I don't know what's true or what's not true, and I'm not here to argue it. I'm just reporting what I see. Yes, I have my own thoughts, and yeah, they're probably somewhere in the middle of all the nonsense and the horrible crap that I see posted on social media, because the truth is in there. There are elements of truth to all the garbage that you see. It's just not that it's the actual truth, and it's never to the extreme in which people post about it, but there is truth to it. And yes, their truth is somewhere in the middle, but you got to dig through it. But the reality is it's all a waste of time. It's just become entertainment for people to just hate each other. Hating someone is like America's favorite pastime now. Making sure that everybody knows on Facebook your political stance and that you are on one side or another has become people's favorite pastime of what they like to do when they're sitting at home and it's 6 o'clock at night. Let's get on Facebook and repost some nasty shit. But then you go into the real world and it's like silence. It's like crickets. It's like nobody's talking about that topic at work unless you've got your private little secret group in the corner who's open and willing to discuss it because you just know that they're going to agree with you, because you're not going to openly start some sort of argument at work with somebody who you don't know what their political beliefs are because you're too afraid of maybe having a confrontation. It's a really weird world that we live in these days where people hate each other so much that they're almost afraid to bring up whatever their beliefs are in front of their friends because one of their friends might not agree with them and may not want to be their friend anymore. We'll see you next week.